Good after morning again, everyone. I need to think of intros before I start recording. We're here with Thunderbolts, and with us today is the reclusive, amnesic Erich.
That's right, all the way from Mother Russia, where I am known as Red Guardian.
My god.
Well, I can't believe that they would put in a Russian character at such a terrible time, you know?
They made fun of his accent and stuff, too. They made him make fun of his own accent, which I thought was a little mean. But and also, who else is that? That is John Florian.
I guess,
Yes.
I thought I was going to be Ghost or something.
Florian is Bob.
Taskmaster Florian.
Yeah, maybe.
I set you up to be Bob Erich, and then you did the other voice.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the Russian
We got to
guy
coordinate
doesn't
the
have
intros. Yeah, it's fun. It all works. I think it's funnier if I set up one character and you do the different one anyway.
I think we should stop doing intros and just get to it. You know,
we could just stop doing intros, but they're fun.
I think
Florian's like no foreplay, just get it right.
The music leads into the intro really well, so we gotta keep doing them.
Just go in raw.
No. That should have been the tagline for this movie. Just go in raw.
So this is the 36th?
Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. 40-something project overall when you count all the shows, you know. They made a whole lot. But this one, people are saying
I was
the
right.
MCU.
36.
Oh my god. That's impressive, actually.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, but people are saying the MCU is so back now because this is good and the last one was bad, is what I hear.
Well, no, here's the thing. The last couple of projects have been pretty bad. Even the Daredevil
shows
series that was supposed to be like back. Yeah, but like
what was the last movie before
as in, like,
the other one? I don't even know.
Before Captain America, Brave New World. Deadpool and Wolverine. Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, but everyone else loved that though, you know.
Yeah, that one was
I didn't
great.
care for it, but you know. Well, I liked it in theaters, I think soured on it, but you know.
That movie almost did nothing for the MCU itself. It was mostly just like coasting on good feeling about the X-Men movies from before and Deadpool from before. Like Marvel's only real before this point, their only real like cultural cachet has been absorbing other stuff and being like, remember this other stuff that we just got control of because we bought 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, but Deadpool was obviously his own thing, so it doesn't really he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it was made by Fox,
the Marvel savior or anything.
That was not what the MCU had built up. They just acquired Fox and decided to make a third Deadpool movie.
Well, I mean, they did it as good as originally, so why not?
I would argue they didn't, but
wow,
this is not about Deadpool v Wolverine.
Oh yeah, I guess we did that already.
Yeah. Well, it looking at the list here, it does actually it's very peaks and valleys because it's Thor: Love and Thunder, then Wakanda Forever, which I haven't seen, but people I know that was generally well received. Ant-Man Wasp 3, which was considered the worst one. And then Guardians 3, and then the Marvels, and then Deadpool, Wolverine, then Brave New World, and this. Yeah.
It's really so over, so back for the last phase, right?
Yeah, for all of Phase 5 that includes. So,
but I think one of the things there is that like, so Guardians of the Galaxy is like a vestige of previous Marvel.
Oh yeah,
and it's a James Gunn movie, so like that was always going to be a like. This is the last call for those characters. This is the last call for James Gunn. Like, a lot of the positives of that movie were not going to stick around in the universe. So, like, the positive things that had been built up from the MCU are going away. And even if those projects had quality, it's very much like, this is it. This is the last time we're going to get this.
And that's kind of true, yeah. I mean, and same with Deadpool, Wolverine. Like, it is, you know, it's the finishing of the Fox universe, and Black Panther, Ryan Coogler is, you know, his own like director with his own kind of vision and stuff, kind of like a James Gunn. So it's very much been that situation, I guess. But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I did not think Thunderbolts was that much better than Brave New World, though. Like it clearly is better. It is just a better movie, but I only gave it like a half star more or something, honestly. So it's yeah, and I think my problem is for the first like 2/3 of this movie, or maybe just the first third, but for a long time there's like really awful dialogue to start this off, I thought. And it's just, and a lot of like very lame scenes
was
that I did
awful
not
about
care for.
It was a while, so
There was a lot of like not great jokes. They sort of go over their backstories like over and over. There's like they're like one-upping each other on the trauma to like re-explain their backstories for the people who didn't watch the shows and stuff. And it's like that's all.
But
annoying.
I think within the standpoint of they have to do that stuff in some way, they find clever enough ways to introduce people's backstories and have the characters kind of go head to head, provoked by those backstories. So like you've got John Walker here, who's U.S. agent, who killed somebody with the Captain America shield, and people are kind of like giving him guff for that. That's the correct way to treat that character.
Well, yeah.
And I think within the standpoint of you have characters from the Black Widow movie and you have characters from Falcon and the Winter Soldier who audiences might not have any exposure to, you have to quickly tell people what the deal with them is and then either kill them off like Taskmaster, which nothing of value was lost there, and then or you have to do like Ghost, who was in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, no one remembers that though, because that was the middle movie.
Nobody remembers her.
Avengers, and so.
Right. You just have to quickly set up her powers, just say that she's got trauma in her backstory, and that's all you can really do there.
Yeah, but I think it was specifically they went over their whole backstory like twice each, I think, and within like 10 minutes of each other, and I think that's what mostly bothered me with that.
This wasn't even that far into the start of it. Like
it was like
by the time they meet, that's already
in.
like, yeah, that's not the start.
I don't know. It felt like quite a while. I didn't care for a lot of the scenes at the start either.
The first act.
Yeah,
I guess.
I like the start of the movie because it's about Yelena Belova and her kind of like, so like I'd say that this movie has a very good metaphor for kind of like superhero fatigue and like just getting tired of doing all of this bullshit again and again and again, because it starts with her being like, I'm depressed, I keep going through the same missions, doing the same thing over and over and over again, what do I have to like fight for or do? And she wants to get a more public facing persona. She wants to actually like take credit for her actions, not just kind of like subsist in the background doing all this like dirty work for what's her fucking name? Valentina de Fontaine or whatever. And so like she's very much like, there's a scene that's top down, it's filmed from the top, and she's fighting a bunch of shadows. So like she's fighting her depression, she's fighting like like that's what this movie is about. It's about fighting depression.
Oh, yeah.
And I think actually having that as a consistent metaphor and a consistent thematic core for the movie is much better than fucking Brave New World. What was that about? Purple.
That was about it was. I'm trying to think of something like related to American foreign policy that it was about, but I'm not even sure specifically. So.
Brave New World was about bravely not addressing any of the actual bullshit that America is engaged in, okay? just pretending that things could be so much better than they are.
Our international enemies, Japan.
Yeah,
imagine.
They acknowledged the thing about people of color and stuff from Falcon Winter Soldier. They had that guy come back who was in the other one.
But that was cringe.
It was
First of all, it was already done
decent in the show.
In the other show.
Yeah, I don't know. That stuff was okay.
It was totally shoehorned into
like
the movie.
He was just like used as a tool to assassinate the president, and then they kind of just clear his name at the end. That's about it. Like, it doesn't really say anything about race. It really doesn't say anything about, like, it's incredibly clear to me watching that movie that they at least started with the building blocks for we're going to continue on the kind of like race-based focus that Captain America and Winter Soldier did, but they stripped that all out. Like, anything that could possibly harm the movie's like perspective among fans was like crowbarred right out of that movie.
Well, yeah, I think they started seeing projections of like, oh, this is going to make 500 million, and if we make it if we make it too political, it's gonna fucking crater even more. You know, I think they did change that stuff out probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they should change it all the way out, I guess. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, this movie is a lot more pure of like Jake Schreier, I think, has a vision for these characters and stuff. Sort of like James Gunn. I don't think he's clearly not as good as James Gunn, I think, but he's
not as good, but it's akin to that kind of ideology for the characters.
Yeah, he's the Red Guardian to James Gunn's Captain America. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's true. You know, he's trying his best. And his best is pretty good at times, you know, so that's good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He made a movie called Robot and Frank, which I liked quite a bit. He directed a bunch of the Netflix show Beef that I really liked, which actually had Stephen Yeun in it, and Stephen Yeun was supposed to play Sentry in this movie, but he dropped out of it due to scheduling conflicts or something.
Well, that's good, because the guy they got is perfect for Sentry, honestly.
Is great.
Lewis Pullman.
I had no idea. Lewis Pullman, who's Bill Pullman's son, and he was actually in the Top Gun Maverick movie a couple years ago. Okay. He was the kind of nerdy pilot.
Yeah, I know he was named Bob in that too. So.
Yes, which is funny. Yeah.
Epic, just always Bob.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so can we talk about Sentry more specifically, or do we want to talk about the build-up of the movie?
Well, I want to talk about how you see superhero fatigue as the same thing as depression in this movie. That was really
the beginning of the movie, she's tired. She just doesn't want to do the same thing all the time.
Yeah, but she's not even been she's not even been a hero, and she's also like, in fact, kind of like a bad person.
But from the end of the last movie, we got that she started working with what's her name, Valentina.
Belle, yeah.
No, but she's not a good person either.
In between movies, she's been doing all of these missions. Like that is suggested by this movie.
Yeah, but she's just like she's not a hero. She's like a cleanup person, you know, like I don't know, what do you call that?
She's like a CIA operative, like
a henchman. Well, no, she's specifically like dirty laundry that the CIA would have, I guess.
She's like a one woman death squad or whatever. Yeah, but it's, you know, I guess like a James Bond, but who's very morally bad, you know, who does not do the right thing in the end, who just follows the orders that are considered to be bad. You know, I gotta say, as far as pulling stuff from the last movie for her and stuff, like, I feel like the Taskmaster death would have... I like it as a scene, and it's very funny, because, you know, it's fucking Taskmaster. Everyone's been making fun of the shitty Taskmaster for 5 years or whatever. But the fact that this is, like, the one character who should give a shit about Taskmaster, because she spent that whole fucking last act of the last one trying to save her and everything, and like recognizing like, oh, she's just got the same fucking trauma issue as we do, being raised by this Red Room guy, this like weird fucking evil Weinstein guy who was the villain of that movie. So it's she should be the only one who gives a fuck about her at all, and she does not, which is very weird. So I don't know.
I think it's clear that they decided they were not going to use that character, and they didn't feel like it was worth the screen time to be like, oh yeah, I do remember that I did care about you before, but yeah.
Well, they were building up for the ads to put her in and stuff, and like have her be like almost a fake out kind of character, which it would have worked better if they like CGI'd her into the background of the other scenes in the trailer. It would have hit a lot harder, but yeah, I don't know.
That'd be funny. But yeah, Taskmaster is a great character. It's a he in the comics, and he's often like cracking jokes, and his ability is to like mimic other heroes, and like they really did not use that very well in the Black Widow movie, and the character's mostly mute in that movie as well. So it's like,
that's who he was. Oh, jeez.
They stripped the character of basically everything that's interesting about them, and it's one of the worst MCU adaptations for my money.
I mean, he's great in Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4 and stuff. Like that's all fun. So
wow.
Yeah, and it is bizarre the way that it's clearly like an MCU thing where they sometimes take the name and the look, like the basic look of a character, and they just assume no one cares. And sometimes they're right. Like for all of those fucking snake people in Brave New World. Like, no one was going to be
Serpent
upset.
Society.
Yeah, no one was going to be mad that they weren't. They didn't have their big snake legs or whatever the fuck they do. You know, but yeah, for character like Taskmaster, I think is like right on the edge of like you can't really get away with that. You know, Adam Warlock they did because everyone doesn't care about Adam Warlock, but like Taskmaster's like a Spider-Man thing, I think, a lot of the time, and that might be why, because people really care about the Spider-Man stuff a lot more than the other things.
Characters, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's I did not care for the whole intro to it a lot. You know, it started getting better around the limo thing, I think. That was really fantastic scene and everything. And just I didn't care for the
limo?
action. Yeah, the limo scene was
ridiculous
fantastic.
Red Guardian limo. Wow.
Yeah. It's so fun that he's driving this limo and yelling and stuff. Yeah, that's very fun. He's great.
That's funny. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you don't like the interesting build-up of these characters and how they face off against each other, but you like the lame dad coming in and embarrassing everyone. Okay.
I don't know. It was very fun.
Brilliant writing over here. Okay.
The intro's probably not as bad as I remember it being. I don't know, but it's yeah. I think one of my issues is that it's just that the action, I think, in the first big fight scene was not super great. Like,
really? The one where they're like catching each other's
that was
that
fun.
part's
like
fun. But
projectiles and
okay,
that's
noticed,
a good action sequence. Like,
well, what's the issue then?
There were 2 times where Taskmaster gets punched and she like floats away for a second. Like the effect on her, like there's no impact to like the fights and stuff, and everything's moving so slow. And John Walker's one move is to be the fucking Terminator. He like just walks at you shooting like RoboCop or something. It looks very stupid to me. I don't know. And that's like most of the action in that first fight I thought was like that. It was very slow and very weird.
Well, he wouldn't be able to keep up with all these ninjas. It makes sense that he would be sluggish, you know, John.
I'm okay with him not being like as fast as them, but it just the fact that that's his one thing is he like they'll have a fight between like Ghost and Yelena will be fighting for a second, and then they'll remember that John Walker is in the scene and just cut to him walking slowly forward and shooting his gun at them, and it just looks very silly to me. So
okay, I didn't notice that at all watching it. So
I mean, in the real world, bullets are actually a big deal. So I don't know, it doesn't seem that bad to me.
No, it's just the fact that he walks at them slowly and menacingly. I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Oh, like his name? Oh, that's pretty smart, actually.
He's John Walker. Yeah.
I will say, however, I saw this movie in 4DX, so during every action sequence I was being kicked in my back, and there was water. Chairs. There was water, being sprayed at me, so I might not be the best.
Oh my God.
Why were you being kicked?
Best candidate. That's what happens in the action sequences. There's like little things in the back of the seat that like, kick you.
No, I get it.
That's great.
I'm surprised you guys also have it called 4DX. Wow. I've never gone, but I assume it sucks.
Did you fucking...
It's definitely an experience.
Does the seat like move around? Do you get to smell stuff in the theater?
It moves around. There were no smells, but the seat moves around. Like there's like basically 4 seats that are all on one single gyroscope thing that moves around and jostles you. And
they had one of these for Shrek 4D in Universal Studios that I went to as a kid, and that was great.
Well, that would probably be epic.
That has to have the smell-o-vision because
I think it did. I remember distinctly the dragon sneezes and they spray water at you and stuff. So
every time there was a gunshot, there was like little puffs of air like right next to your ears. It was interesting.
Wow. That seems fucking harrowing, honestly. Depending on the movie, that could be awful. My God.
Yeah, I can't believe
a combat veteran to one of those.
Yeah,
I can't believe that they implemented that thing and they're trying to push it on everyone because, like, you have seen Futurama where they have like the what's it called, the telescope that goes up your nose, and everyone thought that was stupid, right? And then they actually did it. Why? Nobody wants to smell their movies. Doesn't make any sense.
The consumer wants what the consumer wants.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody wants smell-o-vision.
I want to say they've been doing the smell thing since before movies were a thing. Like they were doing that in like some theaters and stuff, gimmick theaters for plays and stuff. So
Well, I
it goes back.
guess.
There's a long story tradition of letting you smell fucking Shrek's onion breath. Okay, this is important.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I was ignorant on this detail.
Yeah. But, we should talk about Bob. He is clearly the standout character of this. I think he's fantastic. Honestly, that's his whole. I like, even throughout the parts I didn't really care for. I really like him the whole time. There is one fight scene later on I didn't like with him actually, but it's fine.
I as well is it the first one when he's like debuting his powers kind of and everyone's coming at him.
Everyone jumps at him and they're clearly very CGI and they just
that to me
they go
is
one
the
by
worst
one
looking
and it's very silly
bit of the movie.
Yeah,
he just looks like he's a CGI figure deflecting shit and stuff.
If they fix that for
overall, I think
Disney Plus, I'd be fine with it or whatever. So
sure, I was gonna say overall, I think the movie looks like one of the better Marvel movies in a while. Like it feels like they had a consistent vision for what they wanted to do. There's a lot of filming on sets and in real locations. It feels like an actual movie, not something that was done on a green screen backdrop with Robert Downey Jr. refusing to put on any kind of Iron Man armor. That kind of shit. So.
Did you see the fucking? There's a photo of him like on the set of Doomsday, and he's got the dots. And I'm like, dude, the mask doesn't
he's
move.
Not even gonna wear
he
the
can't
mask.
put the fucking mask on. It's so dumb, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, but it is.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I mean, I am glad though that this movie it's shot really well, and I like the color grading on it too. I really get picky about the color grading in movies, I guess, but it was pretty blue, but it was blue in a nice way. It's not blue in like a Watchmen way, which I didn't care for. I don't know. So,
wow, poor Watchmen. They can't catch a break.
Yeah, that's their whole thing, though. They're dark and sad. So, yeah.
But yeah, so Sentry as a character is like this guy who was experimented on by the government. He was given some form of the super soldier serum, right? It was like just 100,000 times better version.
They didn't get into it really. I assume it's something not related to a serum directly, but probably like a weird psychic torture plus maybe they pulled in like a Doctor Strange demon into it. I don't know. Because what it turns out to be is like a fucking evil monster inside him, so it's very odd. But it's a super fun power set for him and stuff. So
I do like that at the beginning of the movie they're like looking at like documents for like what his branding is going to be like. Like this is what his hair will look like. This is his various logos. Like
sketches of all the logos. It's great. Yeah.
I guess his power is like all of the Avengers mixed together, even the Hulk who goes crazy. So. It's a weird character to make, actually. I guess it's like the Avengers Superman now.
Yeah, well, yeah, they say that he's as strong as all the Avengers put together, and clearly he is because he's able to kill the whole world in a minute or something. So, yeah, but he
hasn't done that. Like all he was able to do was to cast like a darkness spell.
Yeah, but that's like its own unique kind of evil power, which I really love the look of that too. They just the shadow creeping over and it like turns people into those fucking harsh like splashed on shadows like Hiroshima.
But that's like on the same power level as the Scarlet Witch and her Wonder Vision, right?
He could beat her. I'm gonna say that right now. And if they put that in the movie and they get it wrong, they're wrong. Okay, he could beat her.
I mean, he could beat her physically. I don't know if he can beat her magic-wise.
She has more magic, but he can just send her to the evil dark dimension immediately. So.
Yeah, the void.
Yeah.
Well, she can send him to the TV dimension, and he would lose his mind because he's got amnesia.
That she didn't do that on her own, though. She needed the other witch to make her do that.
Really?
Yeah, in that show.
Is that what happened? I thought she did that.
She did it. I think she started doing it, but the other witch like helped her out. Actually, they did make a point to make sure that she did it. Actually, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, she did it.
Yeah, it's a thing. I don't know if she can. She's not. I don't know if she could choose to do that. Probably now after she got the book or whatever.
Yeah, maybe she was way powerful.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange one could actually. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like they're going up against each other, you know, clearly. In terms of power level, they're very close.
I mean, it doesn't even matter because she's too powerful to even be in the stuff. She always has to be killed off for something.
She's going to be back in Doomsday now, I'm sure. And they should make her fight Sentry. So. For a minute, yeah. But yeah,
Sentry? Is he actually called Sentry?
Wow. Sentry. Yeah, Sentry.
Is
like in Team Fortress? Damn.
Yeah. He's a good listen, I'm not a Team Fortress guy, okay? I need to make that very clear. But the Sentry is he's really cool in the comics, right? I know his main gimmick there is that he was like in the past, and they like show that he was in all of the Avengers events and stuff. But like the amnesia doesn't just apply to him; it like goes to all, like everyone else also forgets about him. I think he does like a Doctor Strange spell or something, which is probably why that's why they said they didn't do it in this movie, because Spider-Man already did the Doctor Strange makes you forget everyone thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of bothered by that because I could so easily see them like inserting him into like the Avengers movies.
So cool.
And like that would have been so fucking great.
It would have been so good if you had the fucking.
Like, they've kind of. Between revisiting stuff in Endgame with time travel and then also the forgetting people, like they probably feel like they've already covered that ground, but they should have fucking not done that shit. Yeah. So that you could do it with Sentry. It would have been
in 40 years when people are just watching these movies, like whenever on Disney Plus, it's not going to matter that they already did it in Endgame, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it would be so cool to have them edited into like because it's what they always do, right? They do it 5 times in fucking What If, where they go around the spinning shot from Avengers and stuff, and they just insert a new character. They should have done that. One of the What If episodes, they insert Red Guardian in there, so...
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Something like that. But it's, it would have been so sick to see.
But yeah, I think it's a cool character. I love the Void. Like, the visuals of the Void, which is just the same character, just all black, but then, like, pinhole white eyes, is such a great look. Like it's so effective on screen, and like he just swallows everything in shadow, and everybody goes to their like depression chambers. So
you know, that look has been done before. Okay, back in like 2012, the Slenderman YouTube series Tribe 12, they had a character who had his dark future self was depicted as just him as a silhouette with the little dot eyes. So.
Wow,
nice.
Epic.
Okay, well, that's a good visual to steal then.
I'm glad they took it from this like 100,000 view YouTube channel from 10 years ago. I'm glad they took this.
That took inspiration. What happened?
I'm sure they did. Yeah, but it's it is a fantastic look for him though, and it's my favorite moment in the movie is when they save all these people in New York from all the falling rubble from this whole incident that's happening, and everyone
they save this little girl.
Yeah, they save that girl, and she's so happy and stuff to be alive, and then she's just gone, just fucking sent into the
instantly turned into a shadow on the ground. It's so fucking effective,
and it's they framed it so well and stuff to like have it like just it's such a gut punch for a second there. It was fantastic, yeah. But there's it's just I also love seeing people like them actually save people, you know? Like they're in New York and they're saving civilians, and it's like this is like the only time in one of these movies they've done that since Avengers from 2012. Like they don't have people in New York being saved anymore in these Marvel movies.
Gotta bring it back to New York.
Yeah.
Well, they had like in what's it called, the Archer guy in his series, like
he didn't save anyone. Yeah, he
one of
was
the characters was saved back in the day.
Yeah, but that was a flashback to the Avengers movie though.
Yeah, exactly.
So
they acknowledge it happened, but they don't do it again. Weird.
That show takes place in New York, but like Hawkeye doesn't really. He's not a guy to like save civilians really. So you know, maybe a little bit in the last episode he did a bit of that, but I'm not sure.
I mean, he probably tries, but he doesn't have super speed to save people with.
Yeah, like you can't have him like grab someone out of the way and then help them pull back the rubble or whatever, you know, because he's Hawkeye. So but then
you had, I guess you had the new Captain America save someone instead of going after the mission and risking that Japan gets the nuke or whatever. That was crazy. I guess he did that when he wanted.
I don't even know what you're referring to. I don't remember, honestly.
You don't
remember? This movie?
No, it was the Captain America movie. Yeah, it was actually that
Brave New
one.
World?
I think it was Brave New World where the Falcon saved the civilians instead of going after the MacGuffin.
Oh yeah, he saved the people on that island and whatever. But that's not in New York City, you know. That's like the Marvel thing is that they're in New York being superheroes, you know. Because every single Marvel hero was New York for the longest time.
Well, we got bored of New York for a while, but now we're back, I guess. So that's cool. Like nobody cared about the Stark Tower, okay? Because
everyone cared about that.
Dead. Well, yeah,
there were theories for
dead.
ever since Homecoming. There were so many theories about who bought it, and if it's Reed Richards bought the tower, or if fucking Norman Osborn bought the tower, you know. And it turns out it's Val, which is kind of not a very interesting option, I think, for who bought that tower. But you know,
I mean, it was pretty cool in this movie.
It worked. Yeah, it all works for the story and the themes of this movie and stuff very well. But it's on a meta level, it would have been cooler if it were fucking Norman Osborn. So. I don't know.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed that they changed the name of the team, like the meaning of the team's name, so like completely. It's like named after her soccer team as a girl, and it's like meanwhile Thunderbolt Ross as like the character that was in literally the last movie. Turning into Red Hulk, and really all they talk about is that he turned into the Red Hulk. It's not his team. It's not named after him. There's no connection at all to Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Who
they didn't want to pay Harrison Ford again.
Literally in the universe.
Wow, what a shame. They should have.
I don't know.
You know, would have really been the cherry on top.
It would have made a lot more sense if this movie was about them fighting the Red Hulk, and Captain America was about like, he has to prove that he's Captain America by making like the Sentry realize that he's a good guy inside or whatever, you know. That might have made a bit more sense overall, but you know.
Well, you can't have enough Red Hulk, really.
Red Hulk could have been in both of them, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would have gone over great if they released like 3 months apart here. Both of these movies had fucking Red Hulk in them. Wow.
Yeah, he's already out of prison. The American system works.
Yeah. You know. But yeah, it is bizarre they changed the whole name and the whole meaning, and they keep bringing up that fucking soccer team, which I guess it's sort of, they tie it in a little bit to like the sort of journey of the character. Like she's, you know, she just enjoys it and stuff, and she wants to be able to like help people. She wants to be the one that is relied upon and stuff like that. So it works.
Yeah, makes sense.
They tie it in as much as they can, but it is just weird. Yeah.
I thought it was so weird that they had that star at the end, but in the end it finally made sense what it meant. Wow, what a reveal.
And then they spoiled that for the whole world on Twitter and on billboards and shit by peeling the label back on the billboards. Which I think that's
I never
very
saw
funny.
that.
They did. They had all the billboards for Thunderbolts. They pull them all back and they show that it's New Avengers. And they which is like
I don't like that they revealed that so soon in the fucking like time span of the movie, because it was only out for 3 days.
Yeah,
and then they revealed it, and
they know everyone.
Give people some time to see the
Twitter,
fucking movie.
Yeah.
God.
Well, yeah, because you didn't see it until like this week or whatever, right? So, I mean, there's going to be a ton of people who just don't have the time on that weekend. So, yeah.
Wow, missing out on this great reveal.
It is a bit of a fun, like little. It's a nice reveal, just as being like it's a nice marketing gimmick, I guess. You know, have them pull the thing back.
I thought it was gonna mean like, oh, there's a genderqueer character in it. That's why there's a star.
Why would that mean that? What does that mean?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's just a German thing where they have like a gender star, so it can be any gender.
Okay, I've never heard of it. Yeah, but
well, lucky
I
you.
don't know. There's it's Thunderbolts, you know, with an asterisk.
Yeah.
They're not gonna just recall it New Avengers. I'm sure when they release it on like Disney Plus. I'm sure it'll still
Probably
be Thunderbolts asterisk forever.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. which that's pretty good.
I mean, it wouldn't make sense for this to be like the actual new Avengers, right? They wouldn't dare.
Well, they are. They're not going to call another team New Avengers.
At the end of the post-credits scene, they talk about how Sam Wilson is like suing their team because he has the Avengers copyright or something. So it's just funny. And like I like the Red Guardian being like, "We are the Avengers with a Z."
Yeah.
Oh, that was in that. I guess I only saw one after credits scene. Wow.
Yeah, there was an after credits after all of the credits.
Oh, is that the thing that
you missed out?
Where
and
people
the
are
Fantastic
offended?
Four are coming to their universe. So.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's happening too. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, what in that after credits scene, huh?
There's a big 4. That's the next movie.
I was already pissed when they did that stupid cereal box joke. Oh,
yeah.
Red Guardian.
That was funny.
So needy. Really?
I actually
like
didn't
that?
understand why the Wheaties stuff was all over marketing, but I like it being such a big touch point for Red Guardian to be like,
that is fun.
hey, we're on the box.
Yeah. I thought that was bizarre because at my movie theater, they put up like a big cereal box and I was so confused. I didn't even like connect in my head that it was a cereal box for a while, but it's really weird, yeah.
They wanted to create a chicken chockey moment with cereal, okay, where everyone throws cereal.
Yeah.
But they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. They should have. That would have been great.
I assume the reason why it's called this is because this is just branding. They're not actually the new Avengers. They just picked the name because
within the universe, it is definitely Val trying to like get some credibility for them, or like say these are heroes actually.
Yeah. Florian, you have to understand, New Avengers does not mean that they are the New Avengers. It means they're a separate team called New Avengers. This is like a thing in the comics. They have like New Avengers comic runs concurrently with the regular Avengers comic, and it just has a different roster.
They have West Coast Avengers. They have Great Lakes Avengers.
Yeah, of course they got Great Lakes Avengers. They've got Dark Avengers, which I think
is on that team.
Yeah. I think Dark Avengers might have been Norman Osborn's team or something.
Norman Osborn's team, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're
was
the
he
Avengers.
Iron Man for some amount of time?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't remember. He was like U.S. Iron Man. He was War Machine and U.S. guy.
Yeah, he was Iron Patriot.
Yeah, that one.
Jesus. Is this all from the comics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well.
They should put Norman Osborn in these ones again. Though.
They're not gonna have like an Avengers 5 or whatever, and it's just gonna be the Thunderbolts, right?
Well, they're gonna do Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War, and those are both gonna be with like, I mean, the new Avengers will be in it, but they're gonna become, I guess, join up with the regular Avengers that what's his name is forming too. So. Sam.
Who are the new who are the actual Avengers now then?
We don't know because he's going to form them between movies because they didn't want to do that in his movie, so he's going to do that. Maybe they'll rush through it at the very start of the next one that they're filming.
They should
do
a recruiting montage like in X-Men First Class where it's just Charles Xavier and Magneto going around trying to recruit X-Men.
That was
I guess if they're doing like a recruiting montage, why don't they just talk to the actual Thunderbolts and recruit them as well?
Because they don't like them because they're corporate.
Yeah, they're gonna be like enemies.
So
wow.
Even though it's gonna be weird because fucking Sam and Bucky should be friends, so they're not gonna be that bad to each other, I guess.
I mean, they're fine. They're not evil. Like, they saved the world.
Yeah, it's so silly the way that they ended this with the fucking... They walk through the curtain and they just get put into this press conference and then want to speak up about it. Like,
well, that's what you get if you're in New York, okay? You just become the new Avengers.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, when in Rome.
The introduction of Bucky, at least as like an action character in this movie, is so fucking good because he rolls in on his fucking motorcycle like fucking Arnold in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
He's got this fucking gun that he's just shooting people with. Like, it's just like, I feel like Sebastian Stan has so much like superstar, movie star aura now that he kind of didn't have in previous years
Wow.
that he just really like, I don't know, solidifies this team and like makes it seem like they're actually something.
Yeah, well, you think back to how he was in like Captain America 1, and it's so different. It's night and day. He was such like a
Absolutely.
small, weird character in that.
You could
like, not
barely
weird,
notice
but-
him there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he started out being taller than Captain America. Okay, he was the role model, and then boom.
yeah. At the start of the movie, he's
reversible.
taller, and then he's shorter later on, and he becomes the sidekick guy, and then he dies on the train, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I actually saw that movie like last week.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
a
I
good
like
movie.
that they made like a small version of Captain America by putting like Chris Evans' face on like a short guy.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
that was very. They used to do like an effect per movie, sort of like Pixar does, where they have like a new
Right.
technology. They don't really
Wow.
do that now.
Well, now they got the whole toolbox to work with.
Yeah, they got enough. The Void is a pretty cool effect, as like the standout effect for this movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
guess
for
so.
sure.
Oh yeah, I guess they're still doing it.
Yeah, not as pronounced, I think, as much. I mean, that's also probably mostly just First Avenger as well, anyway. So you know, it's pretty good.
I do think that this movie has too much of the Valentina Allegra de Fontaine or whatever character in it. There's too many scenes where it cuts back to her talking to her assistant or whatever. I would have easily sacrificed that for like seeing what Ghost's Void room was like. Like,
Yeah.
I like the joke in there where like, Bucky's like, "Oh yeah, my life is fine. I've already dealt with my shit." But I think that they should have seen some of the other characters' like worst moments and seen them breaking out of it. But
No, I'm actually thankful they didn't do that. It was already enough of a buzzkill for the ones that we saw, right?
I love that.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
fine having more intrigue of the CIA stuff. That was fine.
I do like all the Val stuff, honestly. I don't think I'd cut any of
Wow.
that. But I
Oh, yeah.
that is not an interesting character to me.
she's fun. I like her.
Why
a lot.
not? Like she's actually doing something in the world, you know,
She
trying
looks,
to control everyone. It's based.
she looks identical to Tulsi Gabbard, and it's just perfect, you know. And that clearly wasn't the case. Maybe they were modeling her on Tulsi Gabbard like 10 years ago, whenever
Is
Black
she like
Widow
that in the
came out.
comics? Does she have the gray?
I'm
like,
sure she does
white
actually, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, because what's her like the actor doesn't. So, but yeah, my favorite one of the trauma scenes was just the fact that John Walker's like worst moment. It wasn't when he murdered that guy. It was when he looked at his phone too much instead of the baby,
Yes.
and he got really mad and they ran out the
Honestly,
door.
that's such a good shorthand of just like, yeah, he's just an asshole
He's
who's
such
reading
a
an article
fucking
about
prick.
himself
Yeah.
rather than take care of his child.
And it's just the kid's like
I do
screaming, and
believe-
he's like, "What? What do you want me to fucking do? I'm sitting here with this kid already. I'm watching him."
And the fact that like before then he was like saying like, as a strong American father who's with his wife and kid, and then to be revealed that the wife left him with the kid.
Yeah,
So good.
I'm still rooting for him to like have a. They didn't give him a full like turnaround in this movie. I'm glad that they're
Yeah,
building
I
it through
think he
multiple
should
things.
eventually give him a redemption arc. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah,
Kurt
he's
Russell's kid.
yeah, a lot of nepo
Yeah, maybe-
babies in this who are extremely good at what they do and not
Well,
just
actually,
nepo
like-
babies.
Like if this is your worst day, then that's nothing. I guess he's had a pretty good life. Then it's just like, oh, he had like one bad day of taking care of this kid, and then he got divorced because of it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
no big deal. It's perfectly redeemable.
Well, as the Killing Joke taught us, so that's all it takes is one bad day.
All
So
takes. Mhm.
Oh yeah, when you're in your
Yeah.
cradle and your dad doesn't pay attention, and you become the Joker. Oh yeah.
you know, in the comic,
I'm
it's
going to become the Joker.
yeah, it's not true. The one bad day thing's not true. That's the Joker's idea. You know, people repeat that a lot
Mhm.
as if it's true, but it's not. The whole point of the comic is that it's not true, and he was just a uniquely weak asshole who became the Joker because he had a really bad day. You know,
Well, yeah. Obviously, he's not going to be able to turn the Batman into the Joker just by giving him one bad day. That'd be
Yeah.
so silly.
yeah.
Oh, is
that'd
there
be
a
like
comic
Batman
where
Who
that
Laughs.
happens?
Yeah, this is the Batman Who Laughs. He gets poisoned to
Oh,
be
yeah.
Batman Who Laughs, I guess.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he got poisoned too with this bleach on his skin.
Yeah, pretty much. You know. But yeah.
Perfect.
I guess the MCU, though, we are so back, I guess,
We're
for
back
now.
now.
And it
I was
pretends...
gonna say Fantastic Four comes out next. That might be good.
If it's bad, I'm going to be so sad, because I've been so fucking excited for Fantastic Four.
I
And, like, they've got such a good idea for it, which is it's in the 60s. It's not directly tied into the MCU quite yet, so they can kind of rely on their own juice for a bit.
Yeah. I
can't get over how stupid the Thing looks. Okay, I really like.
What do you mean? He looks like he's in the comic.
He looked cool. Okay, in the other movie.
He looked really dumb in that rubber suit. In that other one.
Wow.
That looks really dumb whenever I see it. I don't know. He's got the big forehead. He looks like the Thing now, okay?
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Wow.
Yeah. They should have given him the Jack Kirby voice, though.
I'm not fully sold on the voice yet, but I think I just need to hear more of it. Kind of get into him.
They should have got a deeper Jack Kirby voice, because that's sort of what he's modeled on Jack Kirby to some degree. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but it's
it's always that picture with him licking his finger. I guess when we actually have the movie, it'll be less of that, and maybe it'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll only lick his finger once. It is silly to see him lick his finger a bunch just through seeing these pictures. Yeah,
that trailer. Yeah,
that was what they decided to put into the culture is him licking his finger. God damn it!
I didn't realize he has 3 fingers until that. But he does.
Yeah,
he's too. 3 fingers?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
I didn't even notice until I saw that for the 5th time or something.
I mean, I saw that the fingers looked really stupid when he licked them, so I guess that makes sense.
I bet for mocap they made him stick his first and his middle and ring finger together or something.
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It does. He looks very silly with his big 3 fingers, though. Yeah, he's cool. I like the Thing, and I like how he looks in this movie. He's gonna be a great guy.
He looks way cooler in the comics. This is crazy.
No, he looks identical to how he does in this movie in the comics.
I mean, he looks muscular, and he looks so stupid in this.
Well, that's just because he's got a shirt on in the trailer. Okay, he's gonna pull that shirt off. He wore a shirt in the comics back then. They made him a green suit in the first issue or something, and looks really dumb. Yeah.
No, I see.
He definitely wears a trench coat.
Yeah,
I think I see a picture with him not having his shirt on. Was that not in the trailer?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, I guess that's
I remember seeing that.
Then.
Well, there's been. I think they have released little merch or pictures of him without the shirt and stuff. But I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just a collection of rocks. It doesn't even look like a muscular man as much.
He's not gonna look super defined. Maybe they should make him pretty defined though. For his muscles.
They should make him chiseled with his really stupid face.
Yeah. That trailer is really good. I'm super hyped for that movie.
Well, I guess
we'll see. Good. I do like the director. The director did a lot of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but he also did
WandaVision.
I think it's Matt Shackman. So he did WandaVision and he did some Game of Thrones episodes. So he can definitely handle scale stuff.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that series with Agatha?
No, I did not.
No.
Wow, missing out.
I should.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
In my MCU watch through, I got stuck on Miss Marvel. I just have not been able to force myself to watch Miss Marvel.
But Miss Marvel is fun.
I know it's not even that bad. So, but it's something that when I put it on, I feel it feels weird because it's made for
the first episode is really good. Everything after that is a little bit less. Everything after that is a little bit less good.
Oh, the first episode is so weird where she's drawing on everything and it's like Scott Pilgrim, but
it's actually stylish.
With way more autism. She's just imagining random drawings of things when she's just terrible at school.
It's so called personality.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, great. Wow, what personality? He's just like her.
It's cool. It's Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's like a young teen drama thing, you know? That's fun.
Well, I was never young, and I don't like it. Okay,
you were
but whatever. I was never young. Okay, I always.
You were young. That's not true. You're not going to trick me.
I always identified with the old people. Okay, never wanted to do the hijinks that the kids were up to. All right.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's yeah, I don't know. Where would you guys put this relative to every other Marvel movie?
It's like near the bottom of the like great tier, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Starting off harsh near the bottom. Well, I mean, I think I think Ant-Man 3 is like as good as a standalone one can be, and this is as good as that. So there you go.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like as good as. Well, yeah, I love it, but
yeah.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's as good as it can be. Like, you're not gonna see Ant-Man. It's gonna be like, I don't know, Romeo and Juliet or whatever. No, it's gonna be a fun action movie, and that's what it is. And this is very fun too. And it's not like a crazy cool thing like the Avengers where they all came together and it was epic and unprecedented. But it was good for what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing to improve on it. You know, they just need to keep up this level of quality.
They could improve the CGI in that one fight.
I don't care about
surface
level stuff like that.
Wow. Well, I put it between WandaVision and Iron Man 2 at number 21 on my thing. So
okay,
21 out of like 40 so far.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Because they got all the shows on Letterboxd too. It's in the middle. It's still yeah. I don't know.
Is there a list that I can look at?
I got my Letterboxd list. Yeah. I don't know. I can send that.
Link it.
Sure. It's pretty.
Well,
yeah.
I must scoff at your pick. What is the top one?
It's Infinity War. Okay, it's the best one.
That is the best one. Yes,
Yeah.
Good job.
And the Guardians is up there.
But it's really good.
Of course. Yeah.
Guardians 2 is probably the best one. That's well done.
Yeah, I
Okay,
really
what's
like
the worst
Guardians
one?
2.
Let's find out. Black Widow. Okay.
Yeah, I hated that Black Widow movie. Watching that, and it ends really bad too, especially, which is not good for it.
I was gonna say the third act of that movie is just a disaster.
Yeah.
There's parts of it that are fine before then, but like, yeah, just it's almost offensive.
Yeah.
I like how she just breaks her nose. That was like, she could have just worn like nose plugs, but she had to break her nose because it had to be epic.
Yeah. Yeah, she did like slam her fucking head on the table there, right? That's pretty good. Yeah. The bit where they rescue Red Guardian was fun. Where they like bring the helicopter and stuff. That's a nice set piece. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Moon Knight near the bottom. How could
Moon Knight
you?
Sucked. I hated that.
Moon Knight is not very good at all.
I really hated watching that.
And that character has so much potential.
Yeah. I like that they leaned into the Egypt stuff, but like they should have,
That's the part I didn't like. Like that should be way later in the character. Like he should just be Batman for the first fucking couple seasons, and
Hawkeye
Batman with those dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's number 18. Why?
Yeah. I like that Hawkeye show a lot.
Hawkeye.
It was super
That
fun.
was so boring.
I give it 3.5 star. Okay, it was super fun. I was won over by young Hawkeye, little Hawkeye. She was great.
I mean, she's okay, but like that show was nothing special. I guess the old Hawkeye was too boring.
I love the fake out with Jack, and I love how he runs around with his stupid little sword and stuff. And I like the Kingpin. That's all great.
Wow.
Yelena was in that, and I actually didn't like her in it because she was annoying. I found her really friggin' annoying in Black Widow and in Hawkeye, but they like completely turned her around for me for Thunderbolts.
Wow.
So she's like the best part of this one. Yeah.
Hey, any of you guys see Echo?
No.
I tried to watch it and it was so lame. Like I can't believe they have this Native American hero and she's deaf and God, did she lose her arm?
She was in the Hawkeye series.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's got one arm. No, she got one leg. She's missing a leg, yeah.
But like, wait, she doesn't talk, right? Is she mute?
She's deaf and mute because, well, I think she doesn't talk much, but she has like the deaf voice and stuff because she's deaf. So
yeah, there's sign language over the whole thing. Who would want to watch a series where there's a character constantly sign languaging? Jesus.
Well,
I think
probably
it's
people who do sign language and.
Well, cool. Okay, they can have their own thing, I guess. Wow.
I think it's just the thing that impresses me about Echo is that they found an actor who is deaf and can act and is native and stuff as well. Like that's, and I forget if she's like actually missing a leg in real life too. I don't think so, but
wasn't it an arm?
No, it's a leg she's missing.
Okay, well I guess that's slightly easier to replace than an arm.
Yeah. I don't think she's missing a leg in real life, but you know.
And then I think she teams up with like Daredevil, and then like one of them can't hear, one of them can't talk. Oh my god.
No, Daredevil can't see, so they're fine. Well, no, then they can't communicate. Yeah, because they fucking they can't sign language.
It was so terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh man, now I want to watch it and see how they do communicate, or how. That's actually really interesting.
Well, I mean, he can just echolocate her fingers when she does the sign language, but damn, it's so stupid.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be such a slow communication.
She is missing her leg in real life. Oh my god, they found literally just Echo in real life, and they put her in the show. Yeah, that's really crazy.
That must be like the most narrow casting call ever.
Yeah. My god. She was not in anything before she started playing Echo and Marvel stuff, right. So yeah.
Wow. I guess the stars aligned, or the prophecy came true, or some stupid Native American stereotype.
Jeez. You're very dismissive of people lately, Florian. This is not good.
Wow.
I don't want to see these people on my television screen.
Well, you didn't watch it either, so you have no leg to stand on.
Because I heard it wasn't very good.
I wonder why that might have been.
I'm gonna get to it, okay? I just have to get through Miss Marvel and She-Hulk and Thor 4 and a bunch of bullshit. It's okay.
Yeah, I guess you probably would put She-Hulk at the bottom, even though I think it was pretty good.
They need to make good ones that star women in them. Okay, it actually looks really bad that they've made like 7 of them about women and they're all bad.
And you didn't finish it, okay?
I do gotta finish.
She-Hulk is not bad for the reason people say it's bad. It's bad for its own reasons.
Well, I hated the ending, but I don't know.
There's a lot of things where people are wrong about why it's bad, and you want to tell them about it, but it's like you don't want to be associated with the people who say it's bad for the stupid reasons. Yeah. So it's it's not good.
Only I can bravely enjoy these things that the anti-Wokies hate.
Yeah. Only I can dislike it for the right reasons.
Wow. Yeah, we're the opposite. Yeah. I love it, and you hate it for the weird reasons, the weird specific reasons. Oh, the CGI in this spot was wrong. 0 out of 10.
That's a perfectly fine reason to dislike a movie. It's a visual film.
Wow.
Listen.
Yep.
It's a movie. If the visual's bad for the movie, it might as well be a radio drama, and no one does those anymore because those are dumb.
Well, so it might not as well be that then.
Well, no, that's why they're not. They're not going to put $300 million into a radio drama. So, yeah. Yeah,
I guess it could be a series, but I don't know. I'm fine with the movie not having great effects. Who cares? I'll probably watch it on TV anyways on my monitor.
That's I don't know. That's fundamental to the movie. I mean, as a concept.
Like, there's two things: there's visual and there's storytelling. So, like, they're pretty similarly important.
I don't know, but But yeah, I liked Thunderbolts a decent amount. Especially, we didn't get into the whole third act too much, but that is really where it shines. It's just in the ending, especially and stuff. I like they hug him. They give him a big hug, and that's how they save the day. Yeah, but they present it really well and stuff, and it's not as silly as it sounds.
That's not cringy. It's actually well presented and feels correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive to me.
It's like a Super Friends concept. Like that's the shit Gleek would do at the end to save the day, but it's they did it well. So.
Well, I'm glad that they didn't destroy it with their stupid Marvel humor. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah, they
that
didn't
was
do much
very
of that.
that was a real threat that could have happened, but it didn't. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. There was one joke that stood out to me as being weird was Red Guardian making fun of Eastern Europeans and stuff. That just that's you shouldn't be saying
I think
that.
he'd be defensive about Eastern Europe.
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean,
we're gonna be inclusive and nice of everyone in the whole world, but not Eastern Europe. That just seems rude.
Well, if you do it to your own culture, it's fine.
I don't know. I feel like they would not have made that joke about any other group in the whole world. So I don't know.
I mean, they probably would have made it about America.
Well, yeah, maybe. But,
Or
that doesn't count.
Or any other part of Europe. No, it counts because it means that these countries are not that bad, so you can actually make fun of them, you know? Like they are kind of weird and very strange, but you know, they're still part of the first world.
I don't know. They're
It's not that
selectively
bad.
woke, okay? They're passive progressive, and it's no good.
It's not unwoke, okay?
I don't know.
Like,
It's
these
one
countries
line,
know
yeah.
that
But it's-
these countries know that they're not oppressed, okay? Like, you can make fun of them.
I'd be mad if I were like Romanian or something. I'd be
No,
mad.
you wouldn't. You'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I would be. I'd be
You
mad.
would be cool, okay?
You
wouldn't
can't
be.
tell him he wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, you wouldn't be.
It's up to him whether
Yeah.
he would be mad.
I'd be mad about
Well,
a
you
lot of
wouldn't
things if
know.
I were Romanian. I'd be mad about various things
No,
in
you wouldn't. You
Romania
would
as
be
well,
chill,
probably.
and you would be.
No, I wouldn't.
You would be fit.
Romanian
You
lives
have no
matter.
idea.
I'd be
Florian.
out there fucking protesting for them to
No,
actually
you
deal with
would
Andrew
have-
Tate and stuff, okay? I'd be so mad every day if I were Romanian.
No, you would have. Like you would not have first world problems, even though you're still having a good life. Okay, like you wouldn't complain.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Thunderbolts was pretty good, though. Go see Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm. Go see it in a theater. It's
Yeah.
not doing amazing at the box office, so go see it.
Yeah. Would you recommend people see it in 4DX, though?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I should see Mission Impossible in 4DX. Maybe that will
That sounds
push
fun,
me off a
actually.
cliff.
Yeah.
Let's see what stars did you give Black Widow? 1.5. I
Yeah.
guess that's not that bad for the worst movie on here.
It's pretty. I mean, they're all like, they all have like pretty decent actors and stuff for the most part. There's like a lot of things Marvel movies just inherently do well because they have a lot of money behind them and they can afford good talent in various areas, you know. But man,
Well, yeah, but I mean that's still pretty good. Like there's people who have lots of money and they really blow it. Like I haven't seen Snow White yet, but it seems like that one really bombed, which is
yeah,
weird
that
because the
one's-
trailer looks fun.
that one's uniquely horrible. I don't know what they did there.
Well, have you seen it?
Yeah, I did. I watched it on my
really?
computer. Yeah.
I really need to see it. Actually, I guess I'm waiting for a decent version to come out. I guess.
I rated it below Electric State at the very bottom of my ranking of movies this
Wow.
year. So yeah,
Damn.
it's that.
That's
Wow,
really
really?
bad.
It's really, really bad.
Well,
It is,
maybe
yeah.
we should cover it if I like it.
If you watch that and you love it, we can do an episode, sure.
Hell yeah.
And talk about that. Because good God, what an awful movie.
I mean, I can't imagine it being that bad. The trailer looks fine, like perfectly fine. Have you seen the trailer?
I know. I just watched the movie.
I mean, I guess whenever I see a trailer, I watch like 10 seconds of it, then I don't want to get spoiled. But
Yeah.
it seems like there's a lot to that movie. Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But
But yeah, I mean, Marvel is really competent at avoiding like the big flops, which is kind of admirable, you know.
well, not monetarily. They've had some pretty big ones, especially lately. So
Well, they just overspent, but they didn't. I mean, they probably had to. Like, they probably already had those people paid, so they just made the best of it, you know.
I mean, the movies did all right, but because the cost is like $400 million,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, $250 million usually, they need to make at least like 600 or 700 million to like make their money back.
Oh, it's fine. Sometimes if you're making a lot of money, if you take a loss, then it's just a tax write-off. It's fine.
I don't know. I feel like
It's
that's
fine, you're just
worse
getting
than
a
just
tax
making a profit on the movie.
Hmm
Yeah, what, you think it's worse to not make a profit? Yeah, imagine that. But like,
Florian, they want these movies to make over $1 billion.
Yeah, each
per
every
movie.
time is what they're aiming
well, yeah,
for.
obviously
Yeah,
that
so
would be ideal. Yes. So what?
I mean, you're making $600 million less than what they wanted to make. So,
I mean, yeah, but they still gotta make movies, right? They're not gonna just not make movies if the movie isn't good enough.
yeah, I don't know.
And besides, like, the movies were mostly fine, so like they could have still done well with audiences.
I think the audience disagrees with you, Florian. Like,
Yeah,
the fact that people are not showing up to them en masse is
Well, I mean,
all the proof that they need that it's not fine by the
you
audience.
can't expect the audience to show up for every single release. That would be ridiculous.
I mean,
You know?
the last 10 years of the MCU have proven you wrong. That they did show up for every single release.
I don't know what you're getting at. Like, oh, it was all perfect and then it wasn't really.
Not perfect, but like most movies did about $700-800 million.
Yeah, but
And
then
now
they
they're
make
doing
more
like around
movies.
400 million, so about half.
Yeah, but they're making more movies
And the movies
now.
still cost tons of money. What's that?
They're making more of them, though, aren't they? And more shows.
yeah, but they
Like,
spend
they've
as much on
expanded.
each movie and show as like they're not making them for like half as much or whatever though. So they're still losing money.
Well, I mean, they're probably not losing money on average.
Maybe not on average, maybe barely, but I don't know. If you factor in the shows, they definitely are because those are making no money.
I mean,
so,
like, are the shows losing money? I thought they were cheaper, but I mean,
I don't know.
like, if you're saying that like it's losing money, like it's not actually losing that much money because like the people that worked on it, they still got paid. You know, like that's still in the expenses. So if like the investors lose some money, I mean, sure, that's bad. But like if the overall show is the overall universe is doing well, it doesn't matter if they make a little loss every once in a while, as long as the actors get paid.
Well,
Well, the
if
problem is the
investors
loss is
don't-
no longer once in a while. The loss is more common than not.
Yeah. Like even the good ones aren't doing super great. Like fucking Thunderbolts did not make a ton of money so far. At least I don't think it will. So.
Thunderbolts is doing worse than Captain America: Brave New World, and that did not do well either.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you
then
guys
there
to.
you go. I guess quality didn't matter all along.
I'd like to. Could you guys both guess what you think the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania?
For which movie?
For Quantumania, I want you to
45%?
guess.
Well, the audience score, I
Yeah.
think it's around 60.
It's 81%. So
Jesus fucking Christ!
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Wait. Oh,
Quantumania is
Ant-Man one,
the third one. Yeah.
I was confused with the Multiverse of Madness there for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense because I liked it. I'm an audience.
I feel like
I
most
usually-
it did not make money, and I hated it when I saw it. So I don't know what kind of
You hate that it
audience
didn't
that
make
it's
money?
got. No, I hated the movie. I'm glad it didn't make money because then they won't. Hopefully, they won't make one that bad again. I don't know.
Kang was pretty cool.
Yeah, but they
No,
they fucked up. They fucked him up really bad in the movie. So yeah.
I mean, that's fine considering he's out of the universe anyways, but I don't know.
Well, he's only out of the universe because the movie was really bad. Though he would have still been the
Yeah.
villain if this movie was great and made a bunch of money. So
no,
like,
I think there was some stupid ass cancel culture where beating your
Yeah,
wife.
but if-
that's
At
true. He
point,
did
if,
also.
if the movie he got canceled, but like if the movie was super successful, I think to a certain extent they'd just be like, well, we'll just either recast him
Yeah,
or
you know, yeah.
we'll find a way around it. Like
They would've paid his legal
literally
fees
were
if it made $1 billion,
It's not
yeah.
worth. No, yeah.
Yeah,
They were not about to go forward with it.
They
if
were
the
just
character was
gonna
popular.
do a crying into the money bit. Yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
don't know.
well,
They should
too
have.
bad. He could have been great. I guess he should have acted slightly better, and then he might have gotten bailed out by Disney.
He could have been great, honestly. He is a very good actor. There's a lot of people who are good at what they do and are also like bad people, unfortunately, in Hollywood especially. So
Yeah, weirdly often, I guess.
yeah, you know, yeah. So Is there anything else to discuss for Thunderbolts before we sign off here?
I think we about covered it for the most part. I'm trying to think of anybody else in Thunderbolts that we didn't really talk about. But...
Ghost is fun.
Yeah, Ghost is fun. I like her power set.
Yeah.
It's weird how Valentina was trying to kill everyone, but then she realized that the Sentry Project worked, and then she tried to not kill him, but then the soldiers started shooting anyways. Wow. Tragic.
Yeah, she had good motivations, so the thing, I think, was nice.
Well, I mean, I don't know, she was just about to kill all her operatives for no reason to cover her ass.
That's just because she's a bad person and stuff, you know.
Wow, good motivations.
Yeah, well, good motivations for an interesting character, you know?
Ah, okay.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
I hope that Thunderbolts 2 has better CGI, and I hope it makes a lot more money and stuff. It probably will, I assume. If Crank Out Fantastic Four is really good and those Avengers movies are not horrible, I think that Thunderbolts 2 would probably do pretty well.
Hope so.
Yeah, because like it's just people need faith in the quality of these movies, I think, to like make them start making money again.
So I guess they're gonna make like a new Avengers, and then they're gonna make another Thunderbolts. I guess that's pretty cool.
Yeah, or maybe they'll call it New Avengers 2.
Whoa.
That'd be fun.
It'd be funny to have a New Avengers 2 when there is technically not a New Avengers 1.
Yeah. You know.
Wow.
That's just the kind of idiocy I can stand behind.
That's when they rename it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to want to stick with New Avengers or Thunderbolts, or if it's confusing or whatever. I guess we'll see. See what fucking Bob Iger says.
Yeah, they're just going to call it Bob from now on.
Yeah, he's like, oh, they put Bob in the movie. Make the title Bob. Make Bob 2 right now.
Will put you into the void if you don't make the Bob.
Can you imagine Bob Iger he just greenlights infinite sequels to the Thunderbolt series, even if they start losing money and stuff because they have Bob in them. Yeah. That's his only reason. Yeah, wow. Might as well. I mean, with these fucking, you can't. This fucking guy probably has to sign off on all of these movies and also every Star Wars thing and also like every Pixar movie. Look, there's no way he knows and understands all of these projects and can like discern what's good and bad of any of them. Like, good God.
I think that's why they're moving back to like popular characters. Like they're like Fantastic Four, X-Men. Like these will be the movies that the MCU focuses on because those are the ones that bring in the.
Yeah, Jake Schreier is he's like the top choice right now for X-Men movie. So
X-Men, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, he would be great at that. That's all interpersonal relationships. So
it's interpersonal relationship as long as it's like brighter and a little bit more like.
Well, yeah.
A bit happier than this.
Yeah.
I think the X-Men are going to have their drama and stuff, but like they should also be brightly colored and
well, they're going to model it on X-Men 97. That's going to be like the template for every X-Men thing going forward, which is probably a good idea. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I can't wait. The Marvel's looking bright. We're so back until we're so over again.
Yeah, I was going to say until Doomsday.
Until Ironheart comes out or Doomsday, yeah. Or maybe Fantastic Four, or who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, if Fantastic Four is really good, will that buy them enough time throughout Doomsday and Secret Wars? Those are slop fests.
They better hope so, because those movies are probably like $500 million each. So
the thing that fucks me up is that they're making Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom, and you need a really good Doctor Doom for your fucking Fantastic Four group.
Yeah,
and I really do not vibe with that choice. So
they could just not. They could just Fantastic Four 2. He could fight the Moloids or some shit. Like they could just not do Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four movies, which would be awful. But
well, who knows?
Yeah, they're not gonna do Venom in the Spider-Man movies, probably. So even though they keep trying, sometimes they just fuck these things up and it gets all weird. So. Yeah.
Wow, how cursed. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because all that matters is that I'm gonna enjoy these movies, even if audiences hate it. Well, I guess audiences
Yeah.
don't care, but critics hate it, and then audiences for some reason don't go see them.
Yeah.
Weird. Which it doesn't make sense because like the audience rate them highly, but then they don't go see them. Cool.
Yeah. You know.
Just because the people who see them like them does not mean that they're like telling their friends you have to run out and see this,
Yeah.
or the friends are like, no, I'm gonna wait for it to be on Disney Plus or something like that. So
That might be why the Rotten Tomatoes is so high. Is like all the discerning people just skip them and don't even see them.
Mhm.
So
right,
the audience
if more
rating is
people were
just
seeing
the
them, they
simple.
might not be as yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, those people that you talk about are the critics, and they still see them.
Well, that's they see them because it's their job, and they're very discerning. So their score is very usually matches the quality a little closer, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Always agreeing with the awful critics that just
Yeah.
are so out of touch, you know. They're just constantly giving good movies bad reviews for no reason. God, the CGI was slightly off. Fail. Great.
Yeah. Well, they gave Thunderbolts a really good review in spite of the CGI being off. You know, Thunderbolts is like
It
90.
wasn't all, like, it was mostly pretty good, the CGI. Really, they did.
Most
Well,
of it
that's
probably
cool.
was. Yeah. And there's always CGI you don't even notice. Like half of New York City is probably just CGI in that. And you don't notice because
Yeah.
everything is sort of that way now. You know.
I mean, yeah, it gets better anyway, so you would stop noticing eventually anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you all.
Singularity approaching.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for watching the Thunderbolts review. And until next time, Thunderbolts out.
Thunder!
Thunder my bolt.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Yeah.